Short form content and vertical video has become the norm, and today we'll be going through the lens that can basically cover all your social media needs, vertical video, YouTube videos, everything and above. But first, if you are not sold on the idea of short form content, vertical video, it is more important than ever to hop on board and start embracing modern filmmaking, which is what I like to call it. Everyone on YouTube at this stage is really just trying to build themselves up to be a movie director, shoot amazing, gorgeous films or short films. But the reality is the everyday person is not going to have the time to film amazing short films like Peter McKinnon. They're probably going to have some extra time from their day job and create some short form content, which is why we should embrace it. Also, if you want to grow at all, short form content is the only way to go in this day and age. Obviously, you can build your YouTube channel with long form content, but no matter what, short form content is only going to benefit you and it will not detriment to you at all. But let's talk about this lens, and it is my absolute favorite. The 24mm f1.4 G Master from Sony, or you can just buy any other 24 f1.4, and I'm going to break down every reason we should right now. Firstly, this lens is extremely versatile. 24mm is the perfect focal length to let you vlog. Although it is a tiny bit close, I think it's perfectly good enough to vlog. All my previous videos are filmed on the 24mm and I'm vlogging perfectly fine. But on the other hand, it is a focal length that is wide enough so that you can go handheld and use the IBIS on your camera to shoot some fairly high quality video without an earthquake. Let's face it, if you want good cinematography or videography, you can't have crazy shaky footage because that just makes it unusable. And being a modern filmmaker using the Sony A7IV, that IBIS paired with the 24mm is a perfect combination to have a handheld machine without having to rig out your camera with a ton of weight so you don't get those micro shakes. So if you are looking for a lens that you can really run and gun, film whatever you want, it's such a convenient lens because the width allows you to have stable shots and be a videographer without having to buy a gimbal straight away, which is an investment and honestly very expensive and also not fun to run a gimbal anyway. It's not exactly a quick process. You just want to be in the moment and enjoy your time, especially if not being paid to shoot. On the topic of versatility, this lens can basically do any genre you want, maybe besides wildlife photography because you can't zoom in. The f1.4 can give you some amazing bokeh and shoot some amazing portraits as well. You can vlog with it, you can shoot landscapes, the possibilities are honestly endless. And when you think versatile, you don't really think of prime lens, but I was literally in New Zealand doing a 50-kilometer hike and I just left this prime lens on my camera for about 90% of the time. And even though I brought another lens, I just didn't feel like I liked to use it because the f1.4 looks so beautiful. When you combine that with something like the A7IV's crop mode, you can get some extra reach to about 36 mils, which is a nice in between if you do want to punch in a bit more. And that's just, again, modern cameras doing great things. Now, in the context of short form content, this lens is even better because, like we mentioned, we can do all those genres of photography, videography, but we also can film ourselves very well. This is a great lens for talking headshots, especially in short form videos like Reels and TikToks. When you need to film yourself or you need to film someone else, you can really make it stand out with that beautiful blurry background, and you can really have some great talking head pieces to make your content pop a bit more and stand out compared to the hundreds of TikToks and Reels that are getting posted daily. Now, another reason why the 24mm f1.4 is such a good lens to have, especially in today's modern society, is that every phone basically has a main camera which is about 24mm or 26mm. That's basically the same thing at that point. Back in the days, we had the Nifty 50, which was an amazing focal length everyone loved, but the truth is now, especially for video, 24mm is basically the new Nifty 50. Everyone's extremely used to how they look on this because everyone uses their main cameras on their phones. So much content is produced on an iPhone, which makes the 24mm f1.4 G Master, or any lens of this matter, the perfect social media candidate. And having the f.4 bokeh is going to make your video stand out compared to everyone who uses an iPhone. People on TikTok already have the misconception where when you're shooting on a low aperture lens like this and you have a lot of bokeh, they think you're shooting 8K or whatever. So it is definitely worth it to have a lens like this to stand out and create some amazing visuals for your audience. Another reason why the 24mm f1.4 is so good is that f1.4 gives you night vision for your camera. I'm shooting on the Sony A7IV, and having this in really dark settings lets me work in whatever conditions possible. Obviously, it's no Sony A7S III. The extra light that this lets in, 1.4 versus something like 2.8, is actually very substantial, so it is definitely welcome having this extra low light performance. On the topic of having f1.4, the bokeh is honestly beautiful, but the fact that you can capture creamy bokeh and also capture wide landscapes, is just a perfect reason to just leave this on your body, not change your lens, and it can really do it all. And I'd never think I'd say that about a prime lens. Just quickly talking about the Sony 24mm f1.4G Master by itself, obviously you can get any other 24 1.4, but the Sony has great form factor, amazing autofocus, and it just performs extremely well. You will have no regrets at all. It is a bit of a older lens, but it still works perfectly fine, but it is kind of due for a refresh. Who knows, 24 f1.2, is that possible? I don't know. Now let's quickly talk about the drawbacks of this camera. Obviously, the elephant in the room is you can't zoom into mountains or anything like that. Having zoom lenses can allow you to capture any moment slightly better, but again, if you film 4K, you can crop very easily. And like I mentioned, I've been on trips where I just like to leave this lens on the whole time because the bokeh looks that good, and it just gives you that X factor on all your content, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, where this lens has definitely leveled up my content and made everything look much more cinematic and beautiful. So that basically wraps it up. If you're looking for a lens to give you some X factor, make your content stand out, this is the perfect lens for that. It is literally my favorite lens of all time, and I thought I was a zoom boy for life. I could not recommend it anymore, and especially for those people who want to produce some short form content. This was a bit more of a short one today, but if you enjoyed, subscribe and comment down below if you want to see more of a breakdown on how to grow, how to develop short form content, because that's something I've been doing a long time now, and if you guys are interested, I would love to make some more videos about that. But otherwise, I'll catch you in the next one.